Hello friends, this is Coffee with the HR Simardeep signs in. In the today episode, I would like to say first of all thank you to Mr. Sahib Ahluwalia. He is with us today to share his perspective or his point of view on the topic corporate experiences. So it could be bad, good, anything. Let's start and let's hit the target and let's see what comes out. Okay, Mr. Sahib Ahluwalia, welcome.
Thank you.
So, just before anything we start, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a digital marketer. I have around 5 years of experience in digital marketing in a lot of different companies. I have had experience in BPOs as well, everything from being a calling agent to being an SEO analyst to a senior SEO analyst.
Okay.
So, my experience ranges from all these different positions, mainly in the BPO industry.
Okay, thank you. So, that means he has handled different functions within BPO sector, ranging from he has touched SEO, digital marketing, SEO, senior SEO analyst,
Operations even.
Operations, okay. So, you must have tasted experiences by working with different categories of people.
Yes, absolutely. And I have had the pleasure of working with a lot of good companies, lot of brands, you can say, as well as some startups as well.
Okay.
So I've met a lot of different people, a lot of experienced people, professional people, also some people that are not very professional or not very experienced. So it's been a mixed bag.
Okay. Yeah, this is the true picture. If we can't say that every environment is perfect, there will be good people, bad people, or maybe neutral. So let us first speak about directors or owners. You might have met directors who are having working strategy totally different from one each other. So what's your take on this?
Well, I think whether it is an established company or a startup, the founders need to be connected with the company, with the day-to-day operations. They need to be constantly in touch with their key people, and they need to know what the challenges are, not just for their customers but also for their staff members also.
Okay.
So that is really important.
Fine. So now let us talk from the employee point of view. So a manager or a director, A manager is having different approach to control the employee. B manager is having different approach. So what is your knowledge or information about what are the most prevalent approaches or styles of working?
Well, there are certain kind of managers. One you can say are micromanagers. Now, these are people that don't really have any trust on their staff. They're the kind of people that think that unless we oversee every single aspect, things will not get done.
Okay.
Now, those type of managers, they are not really appreciated by their staff members. People don't like working with those type of people. And then you have the type of managers that trust their employees, that give their input, share the feedback, but ultimately they let the employees breathe and do their work in an independent manner. So that is the style which in my experience is more effective and is good from the employee's point of view as well.
Okay. So this means if you are taking something in the long term, so this is the practical option.
Yes, because you need to be able to trust people that are part of your team.
Okay.
If you don't trust them, then they should not be in your team in the first place.
Okay.
So there is no point in being a micromanager, because the whole point of management is to provide guidance and to let the people underneath you grow.
Right. Grow yourself and let others grow.
Exactly. It has to be mutually beneficial.
Another point that has come into my knowledge, being into HR, that people, employees or other people who are outside HR, they view this department differently. Some people, or you can say most of them, have different concerns or complaints about HR. So what do you think, what is the reason behind this?
HR has a very unique kind of reputation. Most of the people that don't know the department that well, they would just think of it as a department which is busy making rangolis and being creating different fun activities or mainly just doing interviews and all. So that is a one-sided part of it. There are a lot of good experienced HR executives if you talk to that will give you a lot of insight about talent acquisition, talent retention, and the overall life cycle of an employee's journey. So that if you speak to those people that have the knowledge, you will get to know what HR is all about.
Okay.
However, if you unfortunately have had the experience of working with certain HRs that are not very skilled or not very experienced, then they may not even know what talent acquisition means.
Okay.
So it all depends on what kind of HR you have interacted with.
Okay.
That can form your image.
So now let's comes to the essence. The main target is to give good experience to the candidates and your employees.
Right.
So if now there is a trend that there is a lot of resignations, retention rate is very low.
Right.
People are changing jobs. They're moving from company A to company B.
Right.
And then when we speak to them that why you are changing, sometimes they directly say because of this reason, because of the boss or because of HR.
Right.
So what do you think that why the HR is failing to retain them?
Well, I think first of all, whenever an employee leaves a company, rarely it is the HR which is to be blamed. It is sometimes the overall work culture. The part where HR comes in is they are not able to communicate the challenges of the employees with the owners of the company or with the senior management, or they're not able to take care of both the management and the employees. They usually have to pick one side, and usually they do pick the side of the owners or the managers rather than the employees. So that is where the employees have a negative interaction with HR, and that is the reason they leave. And the work culture is changing now, especially after COVID. So people are expecting more flexibility from their company, more understanding in terms of remote working or working from home when they are sick or when they are having any kind of family issues. So they expect that. So if your company or your HR policies are very rigid, they are not flexible. So they can also cause a big issue in retention of the talent.
Okay. Thank you. So friends, the point is that in a short time, it is not practically possible to answer all these questions or to cater to all these queries. But thanks to Sahib Ahluwalia, at least we were able to, in this part 1, let's call this part 1 session, we are able to understand what is the problem.
Right.
Now, if we are able to understand what is the problem, only then we'll be discussing the solution. So we have touched HRs and owners and the strategy of working in this part. Thank you very much, Mr. Sahib Ahluwalia, to helping us. We will again check with him to find the solution for these problems, and we will discuss again that how we can solve out at least some of these issues. Thank you very much. This was Coffee with the HR. Simardeep signs out.